Welcome to Workout Master, episode 11. This is the episode about cardio. This is Ruben.
This is Aram.
And let's tear this thing apart because, the questions we get about cardio are multiplying.
Yeah.
Should we do or should we not do cardio?
So let's get to the key points. Should we do or should we not do cardio? I guess we could do cardio.
We can definitely do cardio.
That's the best answer. It's not that you must or you mustn't. You could.
Could. That's a key word. You could do cardio.
Right. And why could instead of should? It depends on how your body reacts. If your body can tolerate it or cannot. If it can tolerate it well, you should be doing cardiovascular exercise if you do enjoy it. That's the other step. If your body cannot tolerate doing cardiovascular exercise because it's creating too much stress on the body once again, then why would you do it?
So ultimately cardio is a stress.
Oh yeah.
Stress producing, therefore it's catabolic, or vice versa. Cardio is catabolic, therefore it's stress producing. It releases a lot of stress hormones. So it has an ability to create some sort of inflammation.
Right.
Yeah? So the goal is to balance things, gain versus drain, and use things to your advantage. So let's use the cardio into your advantage.
Right. Another question that begs to be asked is like, why do people do cardiovascular exercise?
Exactly. Why do you guys do the cardiovascular exercise? Most of the time.
Right. Good.
Most of the time.
Most of the time it's just...
I totally think you guys do it to lose more weight.
That's correct.
And big part of you also wants to be an endurance athlete. What do you think?
It's a fight. It's a fight between ego and purpose sometimes, yes. Well, let's not get into that.
Right.
Why do we do cardiovascular? In my opinion, the times that I've done it, well, when I competed, because I needed to get those extra few pounds shit out of my body at a high cost, which it might not be the ideal way to do it. However, if you can think of a better way, you let me know. And also because, some people do in fact enjoy doing cardiovascular exercise. I've never been a big runner, but I used to love, competing in mountain biking. So I needed to have certain level of endurance to be able to keep up with the rigors. So, what did it lead to? To having to practice almost like a cyclist. Although the mountain environment is different. But I did that, and actually it had a certain carryover and a certain function. However, if my sport, or I don't have a sport, or the sport that you like, look at the amount of exercise that you are required to perform cardiovascular-wise. If you're a soccer player, like Aram is, you need to be able to run a lot. You need to sprint and maintain a certain level of endurance. So you have to be very good in between endurance and sprinter. If you're a golfer, then what the hell do you have to run for? Where are you going to run?
So you always look in the event that you want to participate in. If you need to run, you learn how to run. I always say, I'm running exclusively if I need to run away from somebody or I need to catch somebody.
Yes.
And as a defender, I usually have to catch somebody more than run away from somebody.
Okay, well there you go. But there's many sports that we might practice that you might enjoy that do not require a lot of cardiovascular exercise. So there is no point on beating yourself silly doing all this cardio. It's not.
Why not?
Because cardio does not make up for the other factors of life that you should be having into consideration. Your sleep, your hydration, your food, your introspection time, whatever time you have to yourself is very important. More important so than actually the cardiovascular exercise that you do. So like we tell people, you might exercise 3-4 times a week. Okay, in the form of cardiovascular or training, weight training or whatever. However, how many times a day do you eat? Many more. How many hours a day do you sleep? Many more. So those are the really important things that you have to have in consideration. Do not make up for your lack of discipline with your sleeping, with your drinking water, with your time to yourself, and with your food, with the exercise, with the cardiovascular exercise. It does not make any sense, and it will be a dead end.
So actually, again, gain draining, cardiovascular exercise can be draining.
Yes.
The other things can be gaining. How can we use cardio as a gain?
Interesting. You only do as much as the body can tolerate, and by tolerating means that it's not causing more stress than the offset of your body creating a positive side.
And one way of doing it is, for me, it's interval training.
Yes.
To the degree that you can handle.
Exactly.
Where you're not always abusing yourself in a way that you're always running.
Right.
But you run and you recover. Run and you recover like a weight training where you do set and you recover. set, and then recover.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yes.
So cardiovascular training, if you do it consistently, creates catabolic effect, which is over 20 minutes of cardio.
Usually around the 20-minute mark is when the body starts releasing a ton of cortisol. Yes.
There you go. And that can possibly create inflammation, and you need to do something to offset all the inflammation you're possibly going to create.
Right. And rest assured that some people, they break that threshold even much quicker. If you're very out of shape,
possible.
running a set of stairs, walking a set of stairs might actually
Be 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
it might actually push your threshold of lactic acid production. So it's all relative to the person. Some people will have to do more. Some people will actually get by doing very, very little.
Exactly.
So,
So interval training can be used as a game,
for sure.
and that's very important.
Right, because it will equate more of the anabolic effect that weight training has as far as our metabolism. Can actually extend the time that you're actually running a little higher, your body, your metabolism, than yourself, and actually using body fat as energy, as opposed to just going for a long run and having the same effect, but in a much shorter version. So you're actually running for an hour or whatever the time is, and your metabolic rate will only be sustained at that level for about another hour. Well, that's not cost efficient. That's not cost efficient at all. I might rather do some interval training that might have my metabolism raised for several hours due to the nature of the activity itself.
Now, for listeners that I encounter many times that say, I always feel great after doing cardio, I personally have a message. Let's think of it like this. When you do cardio for extended period of time, your body releases stress hormones. So your body creates some inflammation, and ultimately you are generally end up being in pain. Yeah? So after you are in pain, your body releases endorphins that are going to cover up the pain, because the endorphins are natural painkillers.
Mood enhancers.
So you're actually going to feel great.
Yeah, for a little while.
And that's what most of the people get hooked on. They always say, I feel great because I get released in endorphins.
Right.
And I always say, so does Percocet.
Called runner's high.
It is a painkiller also. It will make you exactly as happy as running for a distance.
You don't have to run. Just take
You don't have to run. I'm not advising to take Percocet by any means, but I just want you to kind of get an idea.
It's a total joke.
So remember
Right.
that cardio can be abused and can be used wisely. It's not that cut and dry.
No, it's not.
Yeah?
Definitely not. You have to.
That's a message that I think we want to pretty much put. It's not cut and dry.
And
Be careful when you use it.
You need to do what's right for you, not what you see somebody else doing.
Exactly. So if you see a good-looking or ripped endurance athlete, you might not be the same type, or you might not exactly benefit from exactly the same activity.
That's correct. You gotta play with what you have, with your own genetic, setup.
Some clients don't have to do cardio.
Right.
Some clients can get cardio from a weight training. What's wrong with the weight training in cardio?
Well, look at this, Aram. How oftentimes in one phase of our training with clients, we do not put them into some sort of circuit training.
Circuit training.
When they're doing 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of not sets, exercises in a row, and they do this for X amount of sets. Well, if anybody says that weight training is not cardiovascularly, they haven't done a decent circuit training, because literally your heart will jump out of your chest if you do it right. Because you're gonna be pushing, your body really, really, really hard, and that's the same way that you will equate sometimes to do like a sprint or burst or interval training. It's the same theory.
So you would want to evaluate what you're doing right now. Evaluate your goals. Again, I referred to previous episodes.
Right.
See if you need more gain or you can use some drain right now. Design your program accordingly.
How much strain can you afford?
Or how much drain you can afford. Design your program accordingly. If you have questions, we are here to answer your question. Put comments down below, and we'll be always answering the comments.
That's correct.
Anything you want to say about cardio?
That's it. Leave it at that.
Guys, we're going to make it as short as possible. Use a cardio for your advantage.
Right.
Do not abuse it.
More is not better. Quite often, less, more intensity is way better.
There you go.
Right.
Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate that you take the time out of your day to watch our episodes.
Stay tuned.
Later, guys.
Take care.